You're watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. Today we know that the flooding we saw during yesterday's downpour was due in part to a pump that failed. That flooding especially bad on US 41 near 10th Street in Sarasota.
ABC7's Jackie Kelly is back at that same spot after learning about plans to keep that kind of flooding from happening again. Jackie.
Scott, Jacqueline, I'm here on US 41 where we saw that major flooding yesterday. Now, FDOT told me that the excessive amount of debris clogged up that drainage system.
It was really kind of the perfect storm last night with the amount of rain that we got and the pump failing.
Heavy rainfall in a short amount of time caused US 41 near 10th Street to flood, causing road detours and some cars to stall. This is a construction site, but FDOT says the debris that caused the backup in the drainage system wasn't solely from the construction site.
This was stuff that I think that came from people's yards and the businesses around there. There certainly could have been some of the construction stuff, but it wasn't, by and large, it was not related to the project.
The county says it's important for residents and businesses in the area to be aware of what's on their property.
Anything floatable or plastic or trash is just picked up instead of washed away with the rain.
The city met with contractors to try and fix the problem.
We're cleaning out all that stuff. In addition, they're checking the pumps to make sure the pumps will continue to work and that they weren't damaged yesterday, which they did operate. Just the amount of volume, the volume of water that came down just kind of overwhelmed them.
FDOT says that they're working on a backup system just in case we see that amount of water that we saw yesterday. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jackie Kelly, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jackie, thank you so much.
You see those dark clouds over her shoulder there? Yes, more storms around the area right now. Let's get more with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, we certainly don't want that to happen during a tropical system, right? Just a couple of inches, 3 inches of rainfall in some areas causing that flooding problems. I was down there, actually saw a fish in one of the drains where the water was coming out of as a result of that pumping process. Well, big storms we saw behind Jacqueline now along I-75 starting to work their way, trying to break that sea breeze down west of I-75. Now, what's concerning is the flooding problem and potential that we have into Manatee County right near Palmetto. This storm has been hanging around near Bradenton, but more so Palmetto. And notice these intense lightning strikes now, a lot more centered right there over Palmetto. That indicates the storm is building right there, and the top's up to about 35 to 40,000 feet. And you can see the motion and movement. It's not moving much. It tried to make a break to the west, and then got held off by the bay breeze and the sea breeze. And so it's going to stay pretty much right there, at least for the next half hour or so. Already a tremendous amount of rain. Storm tracker indicating some hail forming in this area as a result of that storm developing. And here's some of the places, again, where you could see some severe hail, it's indicating. Now, it's a little close to the radar screen. So, again, the radar, I should say, out of Ruskin. So you're seeing a little high impacts there. But Palmetto High School around 538. Titan impact a 3 out of a 10. So that's pretty high. And as far as the rainfall rates, get a look at this. I queried it just a minute ago at 3.17 inches per hour. And what that means is that flooding is going on there right now. I wouldn't not be surprised for the National Weather Service to issue a flood advisory, an urban flood advisory for Palmetto, again, as a result of that heavy rainfall. The forecast for hail is for drift northward along US 19 all the way to I-275 right now. This is a forecast of where the hail may be. If you have any pictures of hail, obviously send them in to PIX at mysuncoast.com. And we'll be happy to show those for you. But the rain continues down into Warm Mineral Springs now. You'll notice that if you took I-75 and you just kept going with it, all this would be east of I-75. That's just where the sea breeze has moved into now. Heavy rain near Warm Mineral Springs, and this is starting to move into Northport as well. Expect rainfall rates excessive, up to 2 to 3 inches per hour. With these cells, and it's all associated with the sea breeze. And notice the southeast sea breeze now has made it all the way over to Fort Myers, where these two are going to clash, and you're going to get a tremendous amount of rainfall there as well. We do have some flooding taking place right now at the Myakka River, at the Manatee River at the Myakka Head, and Horse Creek near Arcadia. Those two are under a flood warning right now. More on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A discovery on a Suncoast beach now has Florida Fish and Wildlife investigating. Yesterday, Mote Marine received a report of a dead manatee in Sarasota County, as well as 2 dead loggerhead sea turtles that had been struck by boats. It's not known yet if they were hit by race boats taking part in last weekend's Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix. As for red tide, water samples over the past week show elevated levels remain along areas of Sarasota County. Mote Marine Lab says there's slight respiratory irritation at both Venice Beach and Manasota Beach, as well as some dead fish seen on Venice Beach. No impacts are currently reported on beaches in Manatee County.
After a recent violent home invasion on Holmes Beach, police are starting a voluntary home security program. They are asking residents who have cameras on their property to be added to a database. The department will not have access to the video unless you give them permission. You can contact the Holmes Beach Police Department to sign up for that program.
An update now in Washington, where President Trump is getting closer to announcing his Supreme Court nominee. The president has completed his interviews and is narrowing down his short list to replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy. And there's some intense lobbying underway as the president nears that decision. ABC's Arlette Saenz takes a closer look at those nominees.
President Trump heading off to Montana as he whittles down his shortlist for the Supreme Court.
We're going to hit a home run here.
Sources familiar with the process say the president has finished his interviews, speaking with 7 contenders. ABC News has learned 3 frontrunners have emerged: Amy Coney Barrett, Brett Kavanaugh, and Raymond Kethledge. Another name still under consideration, Amul Thapar. But one official cautions the president could expand that list.
Such an important decision, and we're going to give you a great one.
The White House is gearing up for a tough fight on Capitol Hill. One possible nominee has already caused alarm among senators from the president's own party. Federal Court of Appeals Judge Brett Kavanaugh.
To be a good umpire and a good judge. Don't be a jerk.
The 53-year-old judge worked in the White House under President George W. Bush and has said judges should be open to change.
It means having an open mind. It means a willingness to change your mind. That's something that judges have to do.
ABC News has learned GOP Senator Rand Paul spoke with the president to express concern about Kavanaugh's position on the 4th Amendment. On the other side of the aisle, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer urged the president to nominate President Obama's last Supreme Court pick, Merrick Garland, who was denied a confirmation vote by Republicans. After the Monday announcement, the White House is preparing an aggressive PR pitch to get that nominee confirmed. The nominee could be up on Capitol Hill meeting with senators as soon as Tuesday. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
DNA testing is being used to verify biological links between parents and children separated at the border. A federal official says it helps expedite the confirmation process as key deadlines now loom. President Trump tweeting Thursday, "Congress, fix our insane immigration laws now." Some members of Congress say it's not that easy.
I think we do need more judges to process these cases, but I think there's a lot of abuse of the asylum seekers, and that needs to be addressed by Congress.
A federal judge in California has ordered a halt to most family separations at the border. As part of that ruling, by July 6th, officials must make sure every parent has a way to contact their child. By July 10th, children under 5 must be reunited with their parents. And by July 26th, all children should be reunited with their parents. No parents have been reunited with their children yet, based on last week's order. But Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar says the department does plan to meet those deadlines.
52% of students in Sarasota County get reduced or free lunches, and accessing food can be a challenge now that students are out of school. All Faiths Food Bank in Sarasota, Meals on Wheels Plus of Manatee, and the School District of Manatee County say they're all feeding more kids this summer than they originally expected. These organizations are determined to stop summer hunger, but they say it's the toughest season of the year.
It's a supply and demand. The supply goes down, we don't have as many donations, yet the demand goes up because our children who otherwise would get meals at school are needing food during the summer months, during the break.
Coming up tonight on ABC7 News at 7, we'll share how these organizations are providing food to families in need within feet of their own homes.
A former Manatee High School football star is switching sports. Cord Sandberg announcing on Twitter that he's leaving professional baseball and will now try to play college football. Sandberg was a third-round pick of the Philadelphia Phillies in 2013, not long after leading Manatee High to a state football championship. After 6 seasons in baseball and not getting past AA ball, Sandberg says he wants to pursue another dream and go back to football. Before being drafted by the Phillies, Sandberg had committed to play for Coach Dan Mullen at Mississippi State. Mullen, of course, is now the coach at the University of Florida, and that could be where the former Manatee star ends up. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, I guess we will. Still to come on your Suncoast News, a new review of workplace heat illness shows 6 cases of heat-related deaths. How to stay safe if you work outside.
Plus, why your smartphone may be spying on you.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at SCORE.org.
Summer is heating up. Great news for those of us planning a trip to the beach, but not so much if you have to work outside. Here's ABC's Kenneth Moten with some tips for beating the heat.
More water, more shade, more breaks. These are some of the recommendations from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for outdoor workers feeling the summer heat. Previous outdoor workplace guidelines for jobs such as construction workers said a heat index in the 80s was low risk. But a new review of workplace heat illness by the CDC showed 6 cases of heat-related deaths when the heat index was between 85 and 91 degrees. CDC advice: employers should exercise caution if the heat index is 85 degrees or higher. That temperature should be even lower if you work in heavy clothing or if you're highly active. And as we said at the beginning, more water, more shade, more breaks. Advice we can all use this week of record-breaking heat. With this Medical Minute, I'm Kenneth Moten, ABC News.
Now your ABC7 First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
It seems kind of funny, 85 degrees heat index. We have that in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. Usually it's heat index up to 95 to 100 degrees. And notice this, Cortez Bridge looking off toward Palmetto, and you'll see this huge storm coming in, and that is a direct result of the sea breeze, and that rain has been coming down in excessive amounts, and it looks like more rain on the way, especially inland areas where we don't need the rain because the rivers are really going at bank full or even above that. At the Manatee River at the Myakka Head, flood warning there right now, and also into Horse Creek and Arcadia, and you're getting a lot of rainfall here in the next half hour near Arcadia as all this is kind of working its way basically north with the west coast sea breeze developing and the east to southeast wind as well, kind of converging right there. Heavy storms now firing up and have been right there in Palmetto. It hasn't been moving much at all over the past hour for that matter. Rainfall rates excess of 3 inches an hour is certainly causing some flooding problems and concerns in Palmetto. Ellington getting a lightning strike just there on our live lightning detection network. And you can see Braden, it's still raining there, but the heaviest rain by far up near Rabonia and into Palmetto. The rainfall rates over 3 inches per hour. Getting a look at the 3D look, it's already up to 40,000 feet, a little higher than that in some places. And right in the center there, we do have some magenta showing up. We did, and now that's gone. So some small hail was around. It was showing hail right around 10,000 feet. A lot of times that hail will melt before it reaches the ground with the Doppler radar site, but that's where it was right there around Memphis, just to the northwest of Memphis in Manatee County. Elsewhere, things are starting to pop up again near east of Elwood Park and along I-75. Big rain spreading off to the west now near the Meadows and stretching down to Fruitville. I-75, treacherous driving going on there. Bahia Vista Road, our street, getting some rainfall. It's not yet to the coast. You'll see the general trend is trying to get there, but that west wind is holding it off temporarily. It may break down and then eventually head off toward the west, again, toward some of the area beaches. So if you're on the beaches there, at Lido, also in downtown Sarasota, look out. Some of these lightning strikes may reach you there. Also near Northport, near Warren Mineral Springs, had some heavier rainfall. And into Punta Gorda now, big storms firing up there as that wind has moved in. I mentioned the flood warnings at the Manatee River, at the Myakka Head there. Also Horse Creek near Arcadia at flood stage and expected to go above it throughout the overnight hours. Now, Titan radar picture showing that low pressure area which brought us all the rain over the past couple of days is now well to the west of us, but still a little trough of low pressure has been left behind. And that'll be here again tomorrow, but I suspect most of the storms will once again be inland, although we could see a few coastal showers in the morning. I think the main focus will be interior portions of our viewing area on Friday, and then again on Saturday some morning showers are possible, working their way onshore and then firing off toward the east due to a west wind developing. Well, out in the tropics, our second named storm of the season has developed. Its name is Beryl, and it is moving off to the west. It's a very small, tightly wound up system now, and the Hurricane Center a little uncertain as to where Beryl may be heading down the road, but it is certain that it looks like it could be a tropical storm getting close to the islands and getting ripped apart. This is the extent of the cone because they suggest that it's going to be opening up to a tropical wave by the time it reaches the islands, but they are going to see some heavy rainfall and some strong winds there. Expected to get close to hurricane strength in about a day and a half from now. Top winds are at 50 miles an hour. This system south of Bermuda, not much of a chance developing. Even if it did, it would stay away from the U.S. coast, it looks like at this point. Currently, we have 86 degrees, heat index at 93, and the high today warmed up to 89, right at the average, 70. A nice start this morning due to the rain cool there. It's much hotter in places like Dallas tomorrow at 95. Memphis will get up to 92. A bit cooler in Boston and in Detroit and Chicago, too. They've been battling this heat wave for such a long time. Few morning showers along the coast and then mainly inland in the afternoon. Coastal areas, we'll see seas running less than 2 feet. Smooth conditions out there for boaters. And here's the forecast 7 days. A 40% chance for scattered storms through the next 7 days. The timing of the storms I mentioned, maybe a few along the coast, both Friday, Saturday, and possibly in the Sunday with the main focus inland. Well, more coming up at 6. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. The interstate is still backed up tonight. The northbound lanes of I-75 are looking pretty congested from the University Parkway exit all the way north to Ellington. Some backups heading west on State Road 70 right around the I-75 interchange as well. Well, it turns out gender wage gaps start earlier than you might think. In the workplace, the average woman earns 80 cents for every dollar that a man makes, with women of color making even less. But that gap could start as early as grade school. According to new data from Busy Kid, the average boy earned $13.80 as a weekly allowance, but girls earned a mere $6.71, less than half of what parents gave boys. Busy Kid's CEO says the gap may be because parents are giving boys physically harder jobs that can take longer, such as mowing the lawn or washing the car. Meanwhile, girls are getting chores like cleaning, babysitting, or other domestic work.
Your smartphone may be spying on you. Researchers at Northeastern University spent a year studying more than 17,000 popular apps found on Android phones. They wanted to know if any of them were covertly using the microphone to record audio. Well, they found no evidence of that, but the group did find that some apps record the user's screen and then share that information with third parties, presumably to sell that information to marketers or data brokers. And at least one app did not disclose the action on its privacy policy. The Google Play policy says you must disclose to users how their data will be collected.
Facebook is getting rid of a few apps. The company announcing on Monday that it's shutting down the apps Hello, TBH, and Moves due to low usage. Hello combines Facebook information with phone contacts. Moves is a fitness app, and TBH is an anonymous social media platform for teenagers. Facebook said personal data from those apps will be deleted within 90 days.
And take a guess at what the most popular app is in the iTunes App Store. Well, iPhone's most downloaded app of all time, Facebook. Yeah. The market research firm App Annie compiled this list. In second place is Facebook Messenger. YouTube is in third, followed by Instagram and WhatsApp. Google Maps, Snapchat, and Skype round out the top 8. I would bet they're all on your phone.
They are actually they are. You know, I thought Instagram would come in before YouTube, so that kind of surprised me with that list.
Entertainment news is next.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
A Suncoast dance team is winning big awards, and now they want to win your vote. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. We'll see an award-winning routine from Stage Door Studios and hear how they need you to get to a national competition. USF shows us how you can spend a week learning guitar with some of the best, plus a look at outdoor spaces that make Manatee County a great place to call home, and Nicole Kudau in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
New developments tonight in the murder investigation of Tupac Shakur after a shocking new confession on camera.
The legendary rapper's life was cut short in a drive-by in Las Vegas more than 21 years ago. The case has been unsolved since 1996. Retired homicide detective Phil Ramos says soon after the shots were fired, police zeroed in on Tupac's potential killer, a man named Orlando Anderson. Ramos says the rapper had beat Anderson up that night, and in a recent interview, Anderson's relative says he was in the car as Anderson allegedly opened fire. He's now coming forward because he reportedly has cancer. Ramos says this information verifies one thing, that they were likely on the right track all along.
Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris Jackson, has been granted a restraining order against a man she says has been stalking her. Jackson says she was leaving a recording studio when 23-year-old Nicholas Stevens, who she does not know, appeared and said he waited for her for last week for 15 hours. Jackson says he refused to leave, said he was stalking her, mentioned a shotgun, and said by midnight it will all be over. He then tweeted at Jackson that he was her soulmate. The order says Stevens must stay away from Jackson at least until July 24th.
Catherine McPhee and David Foster are headed to the altar. The former American Idol contestant and the Canadian musician confirmed their engagement on Tuesday. Foster, who's 68 years old, popped the question to 34-year-old McPhee while the two were vacationing in Italy. They first crossed paths in 2006 when Foster was a mentor during Love Songs Week in Season 5 of American Idol.
We'll be right back with more news.